Here we are on Echo Lake. It's my first time on this year. Got the trolling motor hooked up. We just left the boat ramp maybe 100 yards ago. It's just kind of main entrance, which is usually pretty good fishing too. I got a couple spots I want to hit out there though. I thought I fixed my steering for the trolling motor with the pedal steering, but I gotta rethink that again too, because here I am, I'm pushing with my feet and it's just not budging at all. So, and I know now I need to be really careful with the handle that I'm using for my motor, because I used it the other day while it was going and it came off in my hands. Luckily and inadvertently, I guess you could say, I actually had a kill switch. My battery is directly behind me, and I can reach the connection, which I made a plug for the battery to fit right onto the wires of the trolling motor, so it plugs in and out really easily and safely. So just trying to learn from that lesson, and not quite there yet. Maybe I just need to rethink my mount. I can have it towards, midship somewhere, compared to what I've been trying with it, having it behind me and just having all the controls be steering with the feet and using the knob directly in front of me here. Sound like a great plan. If I mount it right next to me, I can have much easier control of it. Alright, I'm gonna stop right about here. Are we still going? Yep, there we go. Ooh. Alright. Aha. I think if that thing were another foot, it would be a game changer for me. So, I can look into that too. That was the longest one that I saw when I found it. And that's the only one I found when I was looking for them. So it's also the smallest. I have my normal Lew's go-to, which is the Mach Pro custom painted on my Lew's TP1X multi-purpose rod, and I am throwing a Googan Banger, 2 to 5 foot square bill chartreuse with a black back. Kind of mimics a bit of a bluegill because the bottom has an orange spot, which would be a red breast. I've had luck with this already today. The boat ramp here has a really awesome dock that I fish from pretty frequently when it's not good days to be out in the kayak. So this morning I caught a 1 pound 1 ounce bass on it. It took me about 150 throws to get that. A little bit of a backlash, not bad. If you're trying to throw under that dock, or at least like by the dock like that, I wouldn't throw it up in the air. Useful tips from Brian, so there you go. Don't do the stupid things that I do, learn from it. I don't think it landed right either. I feel no action from this. It wobbles back and forth, and oh, there it is. Yeah, I can feel it. I absolutely love the action on it. I thought that backlash too, but it didn't. Even though I landed exactly where I wanted to. Not quite under that dock, which would have been impossible. Right next to it. We're about an hour outside of prime feeding time for the day. According to the fishing spot app that I like to use. And I've learned to trust their predictions on it. Sometimes it's you get 0 bites, but most of the times when it says you're going to get bites, you do. All sorts of things it takes into effect with it: the wind, the moon, you know, the sky, the temperature. Oh, I didn't even look yet. We are 56.3 degrees here. I do have my fish finder on today, and I'm throwing in a place that I see 0 fish. How cool is that? And I think we'll move. You know, we are at 11 foot of water. I am not sure how deep this actually does get. I've seen a spot that gets to around 20 feet. But I have not seen all of this lake. So 20 feet may be the deepest. 20 feet may be not even close. This lake, it's pretty decent sized. Right in front of us, you can see there's a peninsula that comes out, and those 2 sides of the water go pretty far. It also goes off to my right, and there's an island there with a beach on the other side of it. But it doesn't go too much further than what around that bend to the right. Right now, I've actually never fished the left side of this peninsula. So guess where we're going? I'm gonna slow it up a little bit here though and head towards these docks. I'm gonna just basically fish any laydowns and docks I can see. I don't want to be parallel today. Typically you'd want to throw parallel to the shore, but I'm looking for over that deeper. The bass are still coming up, so I'm going to hang out a little bit, throw it towards the shore and bring it back towards me, so I look like a fleeing fish from the shore to a bass who might get reaction strikes. Of course, that's my theory. Maybe I'll catch 50 fish today on this video and say, hey, maybe you should try my theory. Yeah, that was not a good cast. Good thing about these crankbaits, you crank them and you can fit the speed to fit your needs. You know, if you want to burn it, burn it. If you want to slow it down, slow it down. Well, if the fish wants you to slow it down, you slow it down. You know, do you need to burn it and stop? Burn it and stop. And for the square bill, you do that and it starts floating towards the top. If you were to use a lipless crankbait, it does the opposite. It actually sinks down towards the bottom. And they kind of turn sideways when it does that too. So it really mimics a dying fish who's just trying to flee something, but its last breaths are already there. Yeah, I don't like this pedal here either. These pedals came with it, and they had rudder controls on the top of it. I don't know if you can see down where my foot is here. I found the little toe pedals that were supposed to control the rudder were basically useless. So when I took the pedals off to remove the toe pedals, I found that I actually liked the big open space and just kind of let my feet hang down and dangle there. A lot of times, and I think 56 degrees is a little too cold for it, but a lot of times I'll just dangle my feet in the water. I don't know if you can see us there. We kind of look like a topwater right now. The line has to be mixed up into the hooks, and it corrected itself as it hit me. Cool. Problem solved. A lot of these docks are in disrepair here. They do empty this lake out for dock repair. The main dock at the boat ramp, right towards the end of the season, you can tell somebody hit it with their boat and then knocked it off of one of its hinges. And within the last 2 weeks of the season, it gradually took a worse turn. I even came here once and it was several feet. The particular section at the end was several feet lower than the one it was attached to. But it was still attached, at least that time. The next time I came back, it was just off to the side. Ooh, that was a good cast. That was exactly where it should be. Of course, I say that. Is it going to catch a fish? Because maybe it's not exactly where it should be. I'm really shallow here. I got laydowns in front of me. I think I picked up some grass. Yep, yeah. Oh, or a leaf. It's amazing. As soon as you pick that up, you know, you don't feel the vibration from it wobbling anymore. I think that's, you know, some of its biggest features. It doesn't just, you know, vibrate from the wobble, but it does have BBs in there to make that noise and attract the bass. Yeah, bass love noise, you know, and they feel that vibration, those vibrations in the water. It's peaceful out. I came here pretty early, and that's when I actually caught that one bass earlier. And it started raining for a while, and it's going to rain a little bit later too. But as I was sitting in my car, somebody came in their boat. I don't know where they're at here, but they did pull out. I don't see them right now. There's a boat directly in front of me, but I can't tell if that's actually on a dock way over there or not. At this point, maybe we should just do some open water casting. I might pull out the lipless here. I don't think I have it tied on. Oh, that's right. I got a jerkbait tied on, which I guess could be good, but I think I want that lipless. Throw it out where I'm throwing it into the middle for a while. But in the meanwhile, I think I'm just gonna drift. See where it takes me. If you go to the right, it actually comes to a spot that separates it from a different pond. There's a dam. Was a mill in that section years and years ago. But once you get to that part that's dammed off, and you can actually put a boat in there too. It's just very small. But there is a waterfall at the end of it, and the current is pretty strong in there. If you stay to the left side of that, you'll do pretty good, but otherwise it's going to take you where it needs to go. My 3-pound anchor struggles to hold me down in it. So not too bad of a day. It's actually, the water temperature is warmer than the air. Not by much, about 5 or 6 degrees. The sun's kind of out. It's not direct, it's not strong. And just peaceful. Birds chirping, me fishing. The only disturbance is me making this video and talking. Let's slow it down a little bit, see if that does anything. When I slow it down, I like to make sure I can still feel at least a little bit of the wobble. Something to give me the advantage of that bass getting its attention to what I'm trying to do, which is catch it. But if you burn it, get their attention and stop, they're like, oh, what is that? And they might just strike normally there with that. Do it again, and retrieve it one way and then retrieve it the other way. Kind of, it wobbles and swims back and forth, but if you can increase the amount of that back and forth, anything to make it more realistic. You know, it makes a difference if you're down, like my rod tip's actually in the water right now, or if you're up, it will change the frequency of that vibration. And if you have a good enough rod, you can definitely feel it. Hopefully you have a good enough rod that you feel it, because that's a big part of fishing, is actually feeling your line and feeling your lure. You know, if you don't know what's going on with your lure, you can't really expect to catch that many fish. This place here actually gets really busy in the summertime. They don't allow anything over a 10 horsepower motor in here, but that's plenty to get people going and do the water skiing and tubing and all sorts of things going on with water, with activities. When that time comes, I tend to stay away. A lot of wake in a kayak is definitely, you know, you can do it, but it will disrupt your fishing. And ultimately, isn't that what we're here for? Yeah, there we go. I think we'll change up here a little bit. Come on. I'll let it down far enough. So there you go. One thing that's pretty cool about Googan, if you can see that in the eyes, it's the Googan symbol as an eye. I just think that's really cool. I also like, hey, you know how I know it's 2 to 5 feet? Well, there you go. You can usually tell by the size of the bill. It's really not that beat up, and I've used this thing a lot, so I don't know how I'm managing to do that. You know, that's the true test of your bill, I guess, is to see, you know, how much you can destroy it. Didn't we all want to do that as kids? Destroy everything? Uh-oh. Caught on my net. Nice. So Googan does have nice sharp hooks. That doesn't really take effect when it's actually getting caught in a net this bad too. Holy crap. Alright, let's disconnect that. There we go. A little bit more free range. One's done. Can we get it now? All but one. And it's like, oh, there we go. I shouldn't be considered a great accomplishment, but it was. How deep are we here? Oh, okay. Water's pretty clear. It says 7.6 feet deep, and I can actually see the bottom. I can't really see it. I can just tell that it's sandy down there and there's no grass. I know, a little jerk bait. We'll throw it for a little bit, but really I'm looking for that lipless. So just a couple of these and figure it out from there. For jerkbait, I like to keep the rod hip down and not move the bait at all with the reel. I want all movement to come with the jerking that I'm doing. It's not the easiest kayak technique, but it is doable. I know a lot of people have a ton of success with a jerk bait. I haven't had that much personally. I have had some, but it's really, I don't have a lot of confidence in it. I do like to throw it every once in a while just to see, you know, things change. But it's not a bad backlash, it's just deep. Good thing about things like jerk baits and that square bill, especially compared to the lipless, is they float. So if something, I can see it over there. If something were to happen, I don't have to lose my bait. Whoa. There we go. I got myself stuck around my paddle. There we go. Just gonna pull the bait underneath the boat. There we go. All right. Yeah, that one worked better. Yeah. Jerkbait's pretty cool because it's completely erratic. It's left and it's right, and sometimes up and down. It's just really catches attention. It really kind of matches what a lot of fish do anyway. If you ever watch them, especially during like a feeding frenzy, they're all over the place. Yeah. I threw it for a few more times. I did throw it earlier too. All right, there you go, net. That's why you're over in the corner. We don't need to get stuck on you. So this is my other normal go-to. I'm using my Shimano SLX DC on my Guggen Gold reaction rod. Just love this Shimano. It's great. It's very fast. It's got a ratio of 8.2. It's almost 35 inches per turn. Apparently I'm planning on throwing some spinner baits or chatter baits. And I brought that today. There you go. Let's put you in there because there's absolutely no reason I need to hold you as I'm trying to tie you. Well, what do we want to throw? There's another square bill in here. There's another square bill in here. Ooh, there we go. White chartreuse bottom, green and blue top, with also kind of mimicking that red breast thing going on. Yeah, the sun's shining. I really wish I had a chrome. I do have one that's chrome. I just don't have it with me apparently. So there we go. I'll put this jerkbait back away. I'm also not gonna throw any wacky rigs. I pulled this out to show because I grabbed this, but I didn't take a single soft plastic with me. Here I am prepared. I wasn't really planning on being on the water today, so this is just a bonus. This is a lipless crank from Castiac. It is a full ounce, so that's I can get it a lot further, and not just that, I can actually let it sink so much faster to where I want it to be. We're still right now we're at 12 as we're drifting. We are a little bit further from the shore, but we're going to the shore again. There's a very, very slight breeze, and I think that's what's moving us right now. Because like I said earlier, there is a river that runs through here, but the channel is actually on the other side of the water in that island over there. There we go. Got that tied. Woohoo! Anybody want some grapes or a seltzer water? I know I'm not on here for long, but I did want a snack. Alright, there we go. Oh, there you go, right there. Don't throw your line in the water, guys. We all want to catch the fish, so anything we can do to make them or help them survive a little bit longer, let's do that. It only benefits everybody, including the fish. Yeah, not a bit huge wobble in this. I can feel it. This is the first time I've thrown this one, so once I get it in, Oh, I like how low it gets. Okay, good wobble. I do like the gold hooks too. Or the brass, I guess you could say. I wonder if it's saltwater rated with that. See? Got a lot of rattles in there. It's gonna make a lot of noise. Yeah, that looks good. I like it. The hooks also seem like they hang very low. So I think that would increase the chances of getting a bite. Also, probably would increase the chances of me snagging on something. But it looks like I'm getting into a bit of a boulder field. I can see some under the water here and there. So, what side are you on? This side? Nope, you're on the other side. I think it's a good time to toss my anchor down. What do you think? Do you agree? You guys are really silent over there. I don't hear anything from you. Whoa, come on, get loose. We're gonna get jarred quite a bit here, because once this actually kicks down the bottom, it's gonna stop us dead in our tracks. I definitely don't want the hooks hanging down, so there we go. Looks like we're getting ready to stop. Anyway, there's a boulder right there. And here comes a jar. No. So that boulder, that's like, here, that boulder right there is low enough for us to go right over it. Surprising, but okay, we'll take it. Yeah, I think we'll be good here. Looks like the anchor is actually attached to that boulder. Oh, there we go. And let's pick apart some of these rocks. Start this way. Ah, right in front of it. That's right, hit those rocks. Love the sound of that, the feel of that. Ah, good cast, way out in there. Rock, jump over it. Ah, that was great. Where are you at, Bass? I know you guys are hearing this. It's getting me excited. It should get you excited too. I love this spot. Just throw it at the rock. That'll work. Hooks are tangled, but we are not actually hooked to the whatchamacallit, so come on, anchor. Well, that could explain it. I don't know how I managed to loop it around there, but it's looped. The only way to remedy that is to completely redo it. Alright, almost had freak out time for a second there. I didn't see my rod, which I put in between my legs. There we go. Oh, son of a gun! I thought I was tangled in something. That was like a 4-pound bass. Oh no! I don't know if you guys happen to see that guy jump out of the water and spit this thing out. You know, I am upset that I didn't catch him, but I'm extremely excited that I saw that. Okay. So this is the area for a while, because at least somebody over here is hungry. And I got the hooks tangled again. I gotta turn myself around. Whew. Yeah, he had to be 3 to 4 pounds. It's as far as bass goes, that would have been my PB. I have a 3.2 pound bass that I caught as my PB right now. Even though I did catch a bigger fish, and that was just recently, I caught a pike for 5 pounds and 4 ounces. Okay, so now when it feels like I'm tangling on something, I'm trying to make sure I set the hook this time, because he was hooked, but it didn't take him much to actually spit me. I'm just hitting the rocks. Look at me. I have absolutely zero composure right now. We are in 7 feet of water, but I'm casting directly into much shallower water, to a good 3 to 4 feet deep. There we go. I think that one particular bass would have learned his lesson to not bite this thing, but hopefully he's not telling his friends and somebody else says, hey, look at that. And the fact that he bit that, we were ready with it. Not ready with it, excuse me. The fact that he actually even bit that, you know, this particular lure, tells me we're throwing the right thing. One of the worst parts about the whole fishing thing is we don't tell them what to bite. They tell us what they want to bite. So I have never thrown this before, and I do like it. It's banging off a ton of rocks. It's also the area. Yeah. If I'm going to make it look like that, I would like to have some fish in the boat. You know, not still 15 feet away from me and spitting it out. It's definitely a good choice to stay here and pick apart this area, though. Any kind of structure, the bass are hanging. As the temperature is getting warmer as it is, what are we here? We're actually 57. We're kind of in that pre-spawn mode right now. They start spawning in the mid-60s, and then it's post-spawn in the 70s. So as things increase, and that's what they're going to be doing here, the chances of us catching fish are huge. Right now, and going into spawn, the chances of us catching big fish is even bigger. The really large females will be on the beds, while the large males that are guarding it are the ones to bite. If you're gonna bed fish, which I do suggest, the clearer the water, the better for you. That's a horrible cast, but we'll take it. Because you want to be able to see that bed, and you want to try to throw as many things going just over that bed, right in front of that bass's face as possible. Even the same thing, try 20 throws. If it doesn't get them, try something different. For another 20 throws, you might run into something. The theory is, if you actually have red or pink, it angers them, so you'll get more bites. That's the theory, at least. What's your experience with that? I have some pink, I have some red. I'm not a huge soft plastics fan. I just don't have a lot of luck with them. I was planning on trying a wacky rig today, because that is typically what you would want to throw right now. Oh man, I wish I knew where that bass went. there's some more boulders too, so I think we got a good portion of this done. I think we might pull that anchor up, which I should do anyway since it's tangled like that, and then move down just a little further down, because these boulders continue all the way to the end of that point right there, which is now directly behind us. I could have probably set the anchor a little differently, a little thought put into it, I guess you could say. What are they doing? So for a while, the 50-degree water has actually been kind of comfortable. Right now it's kind of chilly. Maybe it's just taking my hand out, feeling it. Uh-oh. I think we just lost our anchor. Nope, it's moving now. There it goes. The hooks must have opened back up. Yep. That's good, because I didn't want to buy another anchor. They're not extremely expensive, but doesn't mean I want to buy more than one. Keep this in front of us, because boy, are we moving right into there really fast. I'm gonna want to anchor down just that way a little bit, pick this apart, you know. I'd rather catch fish, but even if I get bites and watch big ones spit it out in the middle of the air, I'm alright with that too. Alright, so now, let's try this again. First things first, we scoot ourselves in, go, oh, nope, go through here first. And then, that's how I got mixed up. Ha, much better. I'm actually just gonna let ourselves drift until I get to a point where I'm happy with it. I take that back. I would rather be on this side of that boulder than the other side. Fish finder's not very helpful today. It's just got a lot of noise all over it. And I don't know why it's telling me that, because there's rocks and boulders here, but I just see zero vegetation whatsoever. Here we go, right here. We're hooked. Boom, flip us right around. So let's change that. Wrong way. There we go. Good thing of anchor trolleys is it actually lets you put it in the bow or the stern, which is ultimately safer anyway. Because now if you're at the mid, it's more of a chance to actually pull you and start tipping you that you might not be able to recover from. If you get stopped behind you, it's a big difference. Or in front of you, it's a big difference. It just stops you. And now I was able to position it to where I'm not facing the wrong way just by moving it to the bow. Excuse me, the stern. And we are stuck on my pants. Come on. No. I can't bend it the right way without moving my leg way over my head. Aha. There's a start. I think if this was a finger, it might be like an emergency room visit. And Barb's way in there. Barb's actually through to the other side. Ah, that shouldn't have been so easy, but hey, we'll take it. And there we go. Wind's starting to pick up more, which is not good for this because I'm trying to pick apart particular spots. I need my bait to go where I want it to go and not have the wind decide differently. Haha. This scenario that we are in with all the boulders everywhere, this is the ideal position to throw the crankbait. This is what it's made for. It's designed to bang off all the rocks on purpose without getting snags. Ooh, nice cast. Sounds like there's a boat behind me, but I don't see it. Yeah. Not sure how far this goes, but we'll throw it out there and see. That point right there in front of us has boulders at the end of it there, so that's going to be our next spot. But it also might be our last spot. I think it's getting windier because that rain I was talking about is probably starting to move in now. And it's just not something I want to get stuck in today. Wow, I almost spooled it there. I guess 1 ounce weights will do that. Even though I feel 0 vibrations. I may have gotten it way out there, but I tangled up the hooks. That can also be a bad thing when you do something like that. Because now, if you wanted to throw back over there and there were fish, you may have just spooked them. And I'm going to throw over there again anyway. Why not? Well, it's going to have to sit there on the bottom for a second because I backlashed almost down to the whole spool. This thing is full, by the way, so it's really going out there. Oh, there we go. Down to the last line. Huh. Trying to say I can see you right there. Don't get stuck and not let me get you. All right. Now, I think we're gonna hit our final spot. People before were talking about when you get an anchor like this, grab a zip tie, because if it opens up the way it is, you're gonna get stuck on things. You know, I have zip ties in the car, and I will be taking care of this pesky problem. I mean, it locks, but it easily comes loose from being locked. Come on. And, oh, I almost forgot, we got the trolling motor on. We went over that boulder earlier that didn't look like we should have gotten through in the first place. We got through with the trolling motor. Now, I don't have the trolling motor extremely deep, but it's not, you know, it's got to be low enough to still move the boat. Yeah, I'm gonna change up plans a little bit, even though I've already done it. If we're going the opposite way, the point is that way. We're just gonna go right in the middle. We're gonna throw a little bit of this crankbait right in the middle. Maybe that square bill, you know, since it goes a little deeper. That'll give us a chance to check a couple different water tables to see how, you know, where the fish are. You know, how many of them haven't quite transferred from the deeper waters in the winter time. I do hope that one fish was on video, though. I definitely want to see that again. Even though it's a little disheartening, it's exciting. You know, sit back, relax. This is why I don't like the pedals. I'll keep them if they worked for the steering. But when I don't have my pedals down right now, I can just easily lay my legs out and have complete comfort. Oh, if you watch my video to where I was going over my kayak mods, one of the ones that I did was those seat risers in the front. I don't know why he only sold them for the front, but he did say, and so many people on the site said, they definitely help with the back pain. And I have to agree. I haven't felt a single bit of back pain from it since. I did not expect that at all. But I still wanted to give it a shot because I was trying to raise the seat as well. So even if it's only the front a little bit, it does give me a little bit better for a sight line. Not great, but a little bit better. So the only concern I have with them now is they stick out a little further than the seat legs would have. So it's kind of a tight fit in there. And, you know, hopefully I don't crack my kayak trying to get it in there. Especially, you know, considering how much time I spend on this seat. So I said we weren't going to go to that point. The current here has actually turned me into a liar because we are heading directly at it. So might as well fish it if we're going to it. Still haven't seen that boat or heard it. He's either picking apart some spots. He was by himself. Or he actually lives here and this is how he was getting his boat to his dock. I don't know. It's a good cast right there, right in front of that rock. Might be able to get one more cast in before we reach landfall. We are just coasting. Yep, that's gonna be the last cast right there. It was a good cast though, so if that didn't catch us a fish, I don't know if we have the what it takes today. And I won't completely say that either, because I did catch a fish today, just not from the boat. Get back out a little bit deeper, and we'll get the trolling motor to transport us. Now that I feel comfortable that I've actually fished this side a little bit, I'll go a little bit further to right where we are. I can't tell what that is over there. It almost looks like a campground site or something. But it looks like interesting things to fish all the way down. That beach is directly in front of us at this point. For now. Steering this is very difficult. Right now I am literally holding my arms over my head so I can actually steer it. You know, turning it on and off from this point. It's not the easiest thing to do, but it's doable. It really would have been nice if these pedals would have worked. So they might make better tracks that are, you know, meant for actual sliding. This isn't meant for sliding, it's meant for locking into place and having your feet into the pedals. There's no locks anymore. I removed them, so that's not what's holding me up. It's just not designed for what I was trying to do. There's something floating next to us a good, I don't know, 100 feet away. Can't tell what it is. It almost looks like a kid's toy boat or something. Yeah, let's get some speed going, huh? See the bow rise a little bit. Yay! Woohoo! Who wants a jet ski off of this, huh? What are we going? 3.9, 4.0, 3.9. So there you go. We max out at 4.0. Let's slow it down a little bit. Make use of this video if we're not going to catch a fish on it, right? Alright, so I moved it down. There's 5 levels of forward. We're on number 4 now, so 5 was 3.9, 4.0. This is a pretty steady 3.1. Oh, wrong way. That's faster. And we're dropping slowly. 2.8, 7. Have we steadied out yet? Yep, 2.7. Alright, so this will be 2 right here is 2.4, 2.5, 6. All right, now we're going down for the next one. Where are we going? We're at 14 feet, by the way. 2.1. And now we're, I don't know if this is really even gonna move us. 1.98. Yeah, we usually drift around 1.9, 1.8-ish. Okay, now that we know that, let's keep going. Let's check out reverse. Not really want to, but here we go. 1.5, 4. They're still trying to get us going the opposite way. but all it's really doing is turning us around. Let's go some more. Hey, oh wow. That second to the third speed of reverse really does change a lot. All right, 1.3. Just gotta turn myself around. I can't do a complete 180-degree turn because I can't really reach far enough back with this. You know, when I bought it, I was like, oh, it says 36 inches for this extension on it. That's got to be plenty enough for me, right? That's got to be able to be right next to me. No, not even close. You know, it could touch the back of my head, but it's still really not, you know, something that you would actually want to steer with on a normal occasion. But I guess that works okay for me now too, because I don't use this a lot. Like, granted, this is, you know, this is a little bit bigger of a lake than I normally go into, so it kind of works. I just wanted to test out the pedals today, but typically most places I go, I don't need this. I can paddle around the whole thing. I can fish the whole thing within a matter of hours for most of my normal places. There's a very few places. There's a place not far from here that I think is probably the biggest lake, not necessarily the deepest, but the biggest lake in the area. I've fished from their beach before, not caught anything, but I've never actually put my boat in there. I think we will fish a little bit more. That rain might be coming, but I don't have to be, you know, as long as I'm not pretty far down somewhere I can go. We're going back into that cove where the boat ramp is. Directly in front of us is some of the first areas we were fishing today. Guess I could just rest my hands on top of my head and interlock the fingers. As I'm sitting back in my chair, it kind of, it's fitting. You know, I just happen to have something in my hands as I'm doing it. As I said, this place gets pretty active, so, you know, it's nice to be able to have this every once in a while, to either just be me or, you know, obviously somebody else is in this on their boat. We didn't even run into each other, so I don't mind running into others, but, you know, nothing tops having a lake to yourself. I tried to go into a lake last year towards the end of the season. I wanted to do a little bit of work on my kayak before I did, and this place has really great lighting there. So I get there and I start working on it. I'm almost done. This guy pulls up in a boat, no big deal. He asked me how long I plan on parking there, because there's a 10-boat tournament about to start here. Whoa, okay. I guess I'm not gonna stay here at all. You know, and I did actually stay for a little while. I watched it for a little bit, but it was a very small reservoir, like this cove that we're in right now. I've actually have a video of me in this reservoir, so you haven't seen any really large ones. 10 boats is a lot of pressure for something like that. You know, so if they're trying to catch a lot of fish, I'm trying to catch a lot of fish. It's not going to work out with all these people on the boat trying to do that in this small little area. So I went somewhere else, and I went there and didn't catch any fish too. So I guess I could have just stayed and watched the whole thing, even from the water, and had the same results. But that's okay. I'm not a tournament fisherman. I really don't think I actually have any interest in it. I'm heeding the advice of a lot of people, a lot of videos especially, where they say the competition takes a lot of fun out of the fishing. I'm like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. You know, if you're fishing with a purpose of trying to make it a living, you know, it's going to become a job. You know, a lot of people may disagree with me on that, but for me, I think that's what it would be. You know, there's a lot of work I do to get the fishing going, especially, you know, working on my boat and stuff. But not even close what I consider it to be a job for me. You know, this is strictly fun. Well, there's the boat ramp in front of us. I'll sit up a little bit because the boat ramp may be in front of us right there. There's my white car. There's a bridge to our left over there, and I know there's a lot of boulders in that area, especially when they drained it. When they drained it, this whole part was completely emptied. So we're gonna fish over there a little bit. I don't even know if we can go through the bridge. I also don't know if it's the wisest thing to keep my motor on for too much longer, because I know I saw a lot of boulders, but you know, I can't pinpoint where they're at. I don't know if you can see that blue thing in between us and the dock right there. I was playing a game this morning to try and actually hit it. It's a pretty good distance away, and I got within a foot, but I didn't actually hit it. There we go. Motor's off now. We're gonna drift for a little bit and try to fish it from this side. When I first came here, the very first time, I'm fishing on the dock to my right, but there's a little tiny dock right there on your left. They're now in front of you. I heard something attack a duck here. I have absolutely no idea what it was, but it was very loud and very violent. It was pitch black, so the sun hasn't rised yet, so that's all I could tell you was it was a duck from the noise. So yeah, that's the whole story there. I took a couple feet back down the dock where I was, just in case. I don't know what's out here attacking a big old duck, but is it gonna come attack me too? We are kind of in a wooded area. I don't even say that. If you go left, you'll start hitting civilization. But if you go forward, right, or you know, behind us, there's not much civilization. It's just a lot of wooded areas. As far as Rhode Island goes, it's about as wilderness as you can get. I say it like that because I was talking to my brother last night, and he was talking about how fishing is different when you hit the wilderness. And he lives in Alaska, and the term wilderness is a way of describing, you know, certain points there. Yeah, we don't have that in Rhode Island. You know, you get lost in Rhode Island, you'll find your way easily anywhere. Of course, somebody sent me a picture the other day. He does have a movie theater in the town that he lives in. And the other day, there was a viral video going around of a moose entering the movie theater. That's actually right where he lives. You know, I went to go visit him once, and every day we were greeted by your resident moose in his front yard. You know, 3 of them. He said there's usually more, but for the week I was there was 3 of them. Let's pedal out a little bit further. Starting to turn us back around a little bit. I don't really want to go that way. I want to check out something new. Well, temperature's going down in the water right here, oddly enough. 54.8. I guess it really wouldn't be oddly enough. This is the channel where the river actually flows through here, the creek channel. even though we're only at 8 feet. So that guy's car is still there next to mine, or his truck with the boat trailer. So my theory of bringing his boat to his dock and then getting his truck back is apparently not true. Unless he needs to wait till somebody can bring him there. Few new homes going up here. Right to our left, it almost looks like an apartment complex, but it's just a large home. Beautiful home. I do like their boats, both of them. They got the John boat, the 2-seater, and the actual bass boat. We can go through that bridge. We're not going to. We're gonna get up to it. I have to put down a couple of my fishing rods to make that. And like I said, we won't do it just because of that. There's a dock over there with a boat on it. Never really looked this way. There's 2 ways to get here, and both of them involve this road that this bridge is at right here. The easier way is actually from the left. The right is actually, it goes right into the town that I live in, but it is a dirt road for most of it when you get into the town I live in. Not the biggest fan of dirt roads personally. There we go, got the rods down. We're gonna go under. I lied to you, I told you we weren't. But hopefully we'll both see something and be like, wow, it was worth it. But so far that's not the case. It's always pretty cool being in a place with this kind of reverb. I had my guitar. Yeah, I guess a couple of people live here. There's boats. Looks like they have actual pedal boats. A nice oriole flying over there. I only see them every couple of years here. I know they're supposed to migrate, but I don't always get to see them. And they stand out. All black bird with a couple orange spots. Very beautiful. Alright, I have a feeling we're getting to the point that we're not going to be able to go anymore. I'm seeing buoys everywhere. Come on. Come on. Aha. Gotcha. That's why you hook your bait to something. That's a horrible cast. Who doesn't want to cast 10 feet every time, right? Of course, I'll take that 10 feet, but now I'm aiming for the dock. Uh-oh. Let's see how this works. Alright, that came out. It was kind of where I wanted to be, but not over a piece of wood to get to it. Alright. We're drifting right into their spot. It's like a parking spot. What time is it here? Okay. I don't know if that's the same oriole, but there's one right there too. Oh, here's the end of it. That's it. Oh no. Several kayaks there, but next to that dock, there's the pedal boat. And just half submerged. That ain't good. Alright, you know what? I like this spot. I can reach all sorts of structure in front of me and around me. This is cool. Actually, I like this side better. It's very small. Okay. Even all the way down. I think we're gonna head all the way down. You know, I brought that third rod, my finesse rod. Didn't bring anything for it. I do have a rooster tail. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to throw. I do want to continue to throw this though. We might be in this area long enough to really see, you know, what we can throw. What do I have tied up? The square bill, the crankbait, and nothing. So we'll at least try those two out. And if this rain is holding off still, we'll try out that inline spinner. Yeah. Something's got to make them bite, right? This is supposed to be prime time. Ah, perfect. Not feeling any current whatsoever. No wind over here. I can see over to my left that there's some wind blowing the surface around a little bit. That made a loud noise throwing that back into the water. Wouldn't have expected that. Can you guys hear the vibration on that? Because I know I can feel it, but I can hear it too. It's a boulder I definitely don't want to hit right there. How deep are we? 5 feet? Oh, there's a log laying down right next to us, and now there's a boulder next to us. That's cool. I wish I'd have known that before we went over it. Oh well, and we just jumped down to 3 feet here. Oh, there it goes. I think this side over here will be good in topwater time, over towards the back. Our area doesn't have a lot of lily pads yet, but I've just noticed the past couple days that they're starting to pop up. Everybody knows lily pads and frogs and fish. put this back just so it's out of my way. Oh, there's not a lily pad, but the stem to a lily pad almost at the surface, so I can tell you where one of them's gonna be. Oh yeah, what's in there? Huh. All right, well, I guess we'll just put this here then. The handle for the trolling motor just happened to sit right inside the rod holder. Not really close to that dock, but definitely close enough for something. I can't tell if I got something or not. Nope. At least felt like I got a bite. Yeah. Tried to set the hook at least. I think I'm running in the grass right in front of that dock is what that is. Yeah, grass, leaves, pine needles, different organic debris. Ooh, did you guys hear that? That I know it's a horrible impression, but that was definitely a pileated woodpecker. He sounded like he was pretty far off in the distance, though. I don't expect to see him. But they're neat. You know, you know a pileated woodpecker because of that really loud thump that it does. It's known for destroying forests. Actually, and are also known to be very difficult to both photograph and video. Not long ago, I actually was able to do so. I got a nice video of him, or one, just destroying a tree. I saw that tree about a month later. It's like, wow, just big, huge holes in there. It looked like a mortar had gone through it. But yeah, I actually stopped at one of my local fishing spots, the one closest to my house. Just gonna go throw a couple times from the bank. And as I pulled my car up, I could hear the noise, and I look over, and he's like 20 feet from me. So that was pretty neat. I've seen them before. I've even tried to picture them before. That guy didn't care what was going on with me right there. So, got the picture, got the video, like a minute video. That was a lot of fun. You know, just seeing in general. You know, especially when you're not doing it to one of the trees in your yard. I don't know, square bill is really the best thing to throw here. You know, 2 to 5 feet. Usually not too much of a concern, but I think where we're at, and that's about all we're dealing with. Yeah, here I am floating at the surface water skiing because I picked up leaves and stuff. So, yeah, no more square bill. No, I like the square bill. I was talking about the orange for like the red breast. That's what I was talking about. One of the things I like about Googan is they use really, really sharp hooks in their lures and their baits. One of the things I don't like about Googan is they use such sharp hooks. Yeah. I catch myself more than I catch fish. Okay. So you take this. Emma. Aha. We are drifting the complete opposite way than I ever would have expected to. Ouch. Hey, you want a helpful hint? If you go grab your rod, try not to grab the exact spot where the hook is facing your finger when you grab it. Another tips from Brian. These are sound advice and make sure you live your life by. I promise. So how deep is it over there? There's a ladder going on to the dock. There's a nice cove back here though. There's a house to my left and a house to my right, but they're not directly into the cove. Actually, that one is. Look how green that grass is too. It's beautiful. But everything else in front of us, you can see where the creek comes in, there's a tree laying down over it. But you have a little island over here and boulders everywhere. And this is a great place to fish. We're gonna go all the way back though, check out, see what that's about. I think one of the boulders over there has a turtle on it. We're gonna go somewhat close to it, but I'll keep my distance so he can sun himself in this completely overcast sky. Oh, I got too close for him already. He already jumped into the water. Oh, there's signs of a beaver over there. Let's get close to that. Hopefully get it on video. This looks really cool. If these trees were separated just a little bit more, I'd love to get my kayak in that. Swampy area. Alright, we get really shallow really fast here. There you can see the tree stump right there. I think right where my paddle's facing. And that was chewed up by a beaver. Now we're extremely shallow into this area. Not even a foot. Oh, it doesn't go far back at all. But that's really neat looking. See all the trees right there? It's kind of haunting actually. Getting towards the end. We're definitely not going into the creek bed river there. There's a lot of laydown, and it's definitely preventing us from even coming close to that. In the meantime, slow it down, back it up, try not to frighten all the fish. Let's throw some right here. There's a decent chance we'll get caught up, but we'll have to see. Never want to pick up a piece of grass that looks like a snake stuck to those hooks. Really want to do it over. Yep, didn't want to do an overhand cast here. Tried anyway, and learned a lesson. There we go. This might be better. Nope. I just don't have the clearance to get the shot that I want. That might work. Yeah. How do we get wrapped up here like 10 times? And then undo itself right as I grab it. Oops. Maybe I should watch where I'm going and not have my lure being reeled in, complete opposite way I'm looking. Oh, that turtle's back. on the one directly in front of us now. Sorry, Mr. Turtle, but I am going to throw in your direction. But I'm not going to throw at you. It's way too grassy in the back there, so looked like it would have been a pretty cool place to do it. Come on. That's why you weren't undoing yourself. I got you mixed up like 5 times here. Alright. Don't do that. There we go. Sit back and now we're comfortable again. Alright, I mean it this time. Last cast. I made it worth it. It's right where I wanted it. Far enough from the turtle to not bother him, but enough over there to hit some of these rocks. Alright. Yeah, one more grass clean off, and that's gonna call it a day. You know, I can feel the raindrops starting to hit a little bit, and I know it's coming. So I'd much prefer having everything loaded up into my car and onto my car even before it gets too bad. But I definitely don't want to leave a lure like that. I have a tendency to keep these a couple of rigs set up right in my car, so it's grab and go. If I'd have left it like that, I would have just grabbed and goed and not had a very good time with the backlash that would have given me when it didn't go anywhere. Grab a couple quick grapes. Never did open my seltzer. Love grapes. And that's it. I'll see you guys next time.